Hey, everybody, just getting prepared here. Very excited about the guest that we have coming on tonight. Hello, everybody out there in Periscope. Hello, my YouTubers. Hello, CEPTV, and hello, everybody on my timeline. Happy to see you all tonight, and we are again very excited to get the show rolling. We will be going live on CEPTV in about 10 minutes, and the Blog Talk show will begin as well. Just doing a little sound check right now.
Start your show now. Press 1 to hear important instructions.
Your show is scheduled to start in 12 minutes, 32 seconds.
So for those of you who are tuning in early, hello. I like to come on early just to make sure everything is good to go.
12 minutes until showtime.
Why are you laughing, David? What's so funny? Yeah, you'll hear some of the behind the scenes because I'm sharing my audio from the studio, calling into the feed, and then we're live streaming on CPTV on the actual website, and then we're streaming on Periscope. We're streaming on YouTube, and we're streaming on Facebook, and pretty soon we will be streaming on LinkedIn. So get ready for that. That's going to bring in a whole another audience, a more professional audience, and a very well-rounded audience. Not to say that any other audience isn't, but LinkedIn is definitely designed mostly for business. So we're looking very much forward to that.
11 minutes until showtime.
I'm going to go ahead and post the number up. So if you want to call into the show, you sure can. Ten minutes and 13 seconds until we go fully live. Again, I like to come on here a little bit early just to make sure everything is good.
Until showtime.
You'll hear some of the background from the actual studio. So if you have anyone who is interested in doing this yourself, you'll kind of get a feel for what to expect if you should decide to launch your own platform. No shame in my game. If you ever want to know how this is done, reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to give you a crash course tutorial on how to set up a blog, be it Blog Talk or just streaming live. It's not that hard. We got a really packed show, lots of information, lots of stuff that's coming up for the CEPTV network, lots of stuff.
9 minutes until showtime.
You'll be hearing it in just a little bit. Don't worry, the my room and everything is gonna be revamped pretty soon. So Don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's going to be CEPTV'd out.
Eight minutes until showtime.
Got about 8 more minutes before we actually start doing anything. So if you want to take a break and come back when we actually get the show rolling, go by the CEPTV stream for the actual beginning of the show and the blog talk for the beginning of the show. Everything else is just pre-show, pre-registration, and just testing to make sure everything is a go. If you should miss this show, you can see it at any time on the CEPTV platform. Make sure you download the app for you Android users, iTunes, iPhone, iOS users. The app is coming soon. Apple was holding me up just a little bit more than I thought they would. They have a little bit more of a strenuous approval
7
process,
minutes
but
until showtime.
I'd definitely be able to enlighten someone on the process should you go that route and want to do some apps and stuff. It's not that hard of a process, but you need to submit as early as possible. So just a little word of advice. And this is water, y'all. This is water, okay? Just water.
6 minutes until
6 minutes
showtime.
until we go live on CEPTV and Blog Talk. So thank you for those of you who are here with me early. I know I get a lot of people who come in on Periscope. This morning when I did my voiceover tutorial, my free voiceover tutorials that I do about once a week, I had about 22 streamers on Periscope. So thanks, y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate those views. Today, we're going to be talking to Jay Sterling. If you hadn't got a chance to, make sure you head on over to the CEPTV network. That's www.mycep.tv and check out Faith McGrace. We are so honored to have the creator talking with us about animation. Animation.
5 minutes until showtime.
Oops. This is why I need an engineer doing all this myself. www.mycep.tv. All right, let's get ready. Let's get ready to roll on. Jay will be calling in about 15, 20 minutes. Let's move this over here. And we're going to go, where we at? 4 minutes. We're not going to go live just yet.
4 minutes until showtime.
Pour me up a little bit of apple juice. 3 minutes till go time, y'all. Great show ahead of us today.
Three minutes until showtime.
Again, if you're going to be joining us tonight and you don't really want to see the video, that's fine. You can also go to Blog Talk Radio / CEPTV Radio, and you can stream us there. And that's just going to be audio only. But of course, we are going to be streaming live on Periscope, Facebook, YouTube, and Facebook on the CEPTV page, which is where a lot of our people are coming in now. And we are winding down. So if you go on the CEPTV streaming app or the streaming website, this is what you'll see. If you go on live events, this is how it's set up, and you can just click get access now. And then once we go live, it will launch you right into it. So I'm going to go ahead and go live at about the 54-second mark on CEPTV and get ready for the intro to come in. And we're going to start this show. Lots of information. So excited about 2020. I'm excited about right now. But we have a lot of information to pass along to you today.
One minute until showtime.
Thank y'all for the likes and shares. Hello, Jarrett. Thank y'all so much for the likes and shares. If you would continue to do so, that would be awesome. Please like and share. Make sure you go to the CEPTV Facebook page, like, share, and also go to the website and subscribe. I'm a little bit behind. Here we go.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Everything out there.
Your show will go.
As you can see, it's a little bit behind on the streaming, but that's okay. So those of you who are streaming, it's going to be a little bit of a delay on CEPTV. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight to CEPTV's Late Night Hype. We're going to have Jay Sterling, the creator of Faith McGrace, joining us tonight in just a few minutes. I have a lot of information to give to you tonight before we get into our conversation with Jay. There's so much going on in the CEPTV world, and so happy that man, this has been such a very rewarding journey. It has been exciting and scary at the same time. So I thank you for those of you who are just tuning in. Your likes and support really do mean a whole lot, and just those gestures are what keep us going here. So welcome to CEPTV Late Night Hype. It is December the 3rd, actually, December the 4th, Wednesday morning, Tuesday night. And man, such a great show. If you are not familiar with CEPTV, it stands for Creatives, Entrepreneurs, and Entertainers at Play TV. Those were the E's are interchangeable. We are a streaming network platform for African Americans, and the only one that lets you choose how you want to stream, whether you are just testing the waters and need a distribution partner, or you are ready to go all out and monetize with a built-in fan base and a growing fan base, or looking for a new place to land that is truly African American owned and operated. That's what CEPTV is all about. We are growing, growing, growing. Thanks so much to you all. If you would like to check out the platform, if you have not already, please make sure you head on over to www.mycep.tv. We also have a hub that is coming into play in conjunction with MyCEPTV that is going to bridge all of the music, the magazine, and the movies together on one hub, so you can see the highlights and the highlight reels of each venue that we have coming together. And it is building and it is growing, and we again are so happy to have you be a witness and be a part of that in any way that you have been or can. Last week recap, we did a special show, and that was with Tawanda Graves. It was with Jasmine Mack, Sherry, Terry LaPointe, and we all talked about the ugly and not so seen side of medical kidnapping. It was in the first of hopefully many more to come on the series, where we talked about not only just kidnapping, but human trafficking. It is a growing epidemic here in the United States lately, and especially among African Americans. And it seems right now, I did want to dive into that just a tiny bit, because it seems like this is mostly being perpetuated by African Americans. But you have to understand, we don't own facilities where this stuff is taking place. There's a lot of henchmen, there's a lot of people who are doing like the dirty work for pennies on the dollar. But this thing is so big and has been going on for so long, to the point where you even see in the headlines where a young little boy from Chicago, his body and his remains were found in China. So this is more than just um the people who are the henchmen, which is, it's really a shame if other African Americans are perpetuating this, and you're actually seeing this, because people are going to jail for this very thing. I don't want to get too deep into it, but I definitely want to continue the conversation about it, because medical kidnapping, that opened my eyes to something that I never would have thought was so monstrous and so real. If you want more information, go to medicalkidnapping.com. You can actually find the Jasmine Mack story. It was so deep and so horrendous. Naraya, which was her daughter, ended up being pretty much a medical guinea pig, and she lost her life unnecessarily to the ploy of just some heinous craziness that was that just went on with this whole medical kidnapping thing right in our very region. So it's very real, it's very dangerous. And just recapping last week, this was last Sunday, not last Sunday, I'm sorry, Sunday before last. We had a bye week for the Thanksgiving Tuesday, so we didn't do a show then, but this is the first show that we've had since that last Sunday. It was a very emotional, very overwhelming show. And if you get a chance, please go back into the Blog Talk Radio archives on CEPTV and check out that episode. I'm telling you, the information there will blow your mind. And that was courtesy and co-hosted by Tawanda Graves, who has been an awesome help for CEPTV. She has been an amazing sponsor, if you will. She has been sponsoring the videos that we have been showcasing that highlights the very underrepresented uh, media that showcases our missing youth. There's a lot of missing youth in America, and 60% of those missing youth are African Americans, and we only get 30% of the media attention. So there's definitely a very biased something, there's something off. If we're 60%, we should at least share the media ratings at least somewhere about 50, but it just goes underreported. And so that's why, people like us, we're here using our platforms, using our voices the best way that we can, the best way that we know how, to make sure that our missing youth are also being highlighted and noticed. And we should be getting another highlight video. So that was one of the last updates that we did, was on the 24th of November. So make sure you check that out. You can check that out on CEPTV, or you can check it out on Facebook as well. And so the song that goes with that is done by Ron Anthony, and we're going to be playing that as our outro. It's called "They Can't Talk But We Can." So I hope that you will enjoy that song at the end of the show. We'll be definitely highlighting that. Current events in CEPTV media. We are finally over the Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but you can still catch the ongoing Cyber Week deal on CEPTV. We're gonna give new subscribers 25% off of your subscription, and or you can use it towards the movie premiere of Butter. And you hear what I said, and or, so you can actually still take that 25% off coupon and use it for the movie premiere of Butter, which we are so excited about. We've been pumping that. Clips and trailers will be more clips, and more trailers will be coming soon. We do have the official poster out, and if you've been on the CEPTV website, or if you've been on the Facebook page, the Instagram page, then you more than likely have seen the poster. But the movie is near completion. That is with producer and director Larry Wright. I am also an executive producer on that film, so I'm very happy to be a part of something so big and so special. It's a blaxploitation film that kind of pays homage to like our Pam Greers and that era. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be so awesome. So that's going to be releasing February the 22nd, 2020. So 2222. 22222. So second month, 22nd day, 2020. So be looking out for that. Again, very excited for that. More new content has been released in the past week or so, and we're just going to keep it rolling. There's some great content that we just released November the 24th, which I already mentioned. That was the new and updated video by Tawanda Graves. I also want to make mention of the shirts that she has that I want you all to go and purchase on her website. It is the Bring Back Our Children the Bring Back Our Children t-shirts. Let me make sure I got that. And you can get them in any size, but we are going to do a giveaway here really, really soon on CEPTV. We're going to give away about 5 of these. So stay tuned for that. I haven't set a date for when we're going to do that, but the reason why it's so important that you go to Tees and Accessories and purchase these shirts is because this is a labor of love that Tawanda does, to help get the word out. This is a labor of love, and this is a way that we can support that and still help out in our own way to kind of put it out in the atmosphere that we are really serious about looking for and finding and being vigilant about our young lost youth that are in the streets, being kidnapped, and God knows what is being done to them. So this is our way of saying that we are in support of anyone who is going to be vigilant and, giving the media attention that they deserve. So please support this. Tawanda Graves, you can find her on Facebook. You can find her on Instagram, Tease. She is awesome. Again, she is a media aggregator. I've learned so much from her within the last few weeks that I've actually really gotten to know her a little bit better. And she is just amazing. She's brave and just awesome. So y'all make sure you all get over there and check out her site and her wares. So definitely have to plug my sister. She actually helped us get to 1,000 likes. And now we are over 1,000 likes. So thank you all so much for liking the CEPTV platform. Then Jamie Foster of King Brick Films just released Target the movie. This is one of those filmmakers who I guarantee you're going to want to watch evolve. This guy really is ambitious about his filmmaking. And if you go onto the CEPTV platform, which is one of the things that we are so happy that we're able to offer our filmmakers, you get to put your miniature bio and a little bit of your portfolio where your fans can find out who you are and see who you are, and according to the type of films that you put out. And if they go on the website, they can click your link. It doesn't look like it's clickable on the app, but your name is there, so they can Google you and find out who you are. And it may be clickable on the app, so I hadn't really got a chance to play around with that. But if they go to www.myceptv, they find your film, they can click on your bio. And then, of course, all of your handles, your websites, and all that is right there. So they can find out who you are and get to know you right from the CEPTV platform. And that's one of the things that we are extremely happy to be able to offer those who come to the platform. And the movie is about, I want to say, 23 minutes long. It's about 23 minutes long, and it's really good. It's about a gentleman who just got out of jail, and of course, he's trying to get up on his feet, so he has to go back to a drug pusher that he knew from way back when, who tries in some very crafty ways and very traditional ways to pretty much keep him under her thumb, and he has to find a way to break free. So make sure you check that out. Again, that is called Target the Movie. And that is by King Brick Films, Jamie Foster. So be on the lookout for that, gentleman. 3IE Films just dropped. This was a little bit ago, but I didn't get a chance to talk about it. Just dropped TSA. They allowed us to premiere it on the CEPTV platform. It is a comedy. It's pretty funny. And it's about 3 TSA agents who allowed a security breach, and you get to see like the interrogation. It cracked me up. So make sure you get a chance to get on over there and enjoy that as well. If you are interested in submitting your film or other digital creative content to CEPTV, you may do so as well by emailing us at CEPTV2019@gmail.com. Again, that's CEPTV2019@gmail.com, or you can give us a call, 706-438-3032. For some reason, I have the number and everything posted up on Instagram, but they won't let me correct my number for whatever reason. So if you try to call that number, they have it as 8083. So that's not the correct number. So email is going to be the best way to reach out to us and submit your content. And that way we can get you the finalized contracts over to go ahead and get you streaming and start getting you promoted. So yeah, exciting stuff. Next on the agenda, events to come. All right. So in June 13th, 2020. CEPTV is very excited to be working with Quentin Miles and the My Life Entertainment crew, as well as other collaborations in the Columbus, Georgia area. When I tell you the 2020 Hip Hop Awards of Columbus, Georgia is going to be off the chain, I'm not even exaggerating. We're going to have a gold carpet affair, not a red carpet affair, and it's going to be at the Trade Center. And that is June the 13th. So it's going to be right before Father's Day. And we're hoping to do like a whole weekend long event at different venues all the way up until the actual event, and maybe even a Sunday brunch that we can kind of combine into like a Father's Day thing or a Father's Day theme that we will be doing. So again, the 2020 Columbus, Georgia Hip Hop Awards. There may be some Atlanta talent coming in. So I can't give out too much information right now, but I will be contacting and hitting up some people, some sponsors, and it's going to be really, really good. It's going to give a lot of exposure, and the lineup for the whole event from what I just seen in the quick little meeting that we had last week was awesome. And I'm very excited to be a part of this, and very honored. So stay tuned for that. More information definitely to come. So we will have tickets on hand, and I'll probably be giving away a few tickets. I'm pretty sure some local radio stations will be doing some giveaways leading up to the event as well. So if that's something that you might be interested in as far as sponsoring, or even maybe even performing if we have slots left, or getting some tickets. I think I said that already. But yeah, make sure you reach out to me. You can email me, LaShawn, at CEPTV2019@gmail.com, and I'll get you all the information you need. If you're interested in a sponsor packet, we'll definitely get that over to you too. Coming up on December the 5th, which is tomorrow, meaning Thursday, there is going to be an event, the toy drive that Gwen always does. So make sure you check that out. That's going to be, I want to say, down at Martin's, the toy drive. So there'll be performances and all kinds of good stuff. So be sure you check out Gwen of Gwen's Business Corner and her nonprofit, because she'll be doing a toy drive down there, and that is for the local Columbus area. So for those of you who are outside of the Columbus, Georgia area, it doesn't really apply to you, but I have a lot of local listeners who are from the local area, and I just wanted to make sure I give a shout out to the Reach for Your Dreams organization and what they're doing for the toy drive, and what they always do for the toy drive this year. So make sure you check that out too. Next on the agenda. Okay, so before we go to commercial and get ready for our guest, I just wanted to tell you all, I did mention it earlier, LVAMU, which is LaShawn's Voice Acting Micro University. It is something that I have decided to go ahead and roll back out in 2020. If you're looking into getting into voice acting, I will be re-rolling out my online curriculum in late January to early February, and I will help you all earn an additional stream of income using the voice that God gave you with my Voice Acting Micro University. So stay tuned for information on that as well. We have a lot coming up. I'm telling you, 2020 is going to be heavy. Okay, when I say heavy, it's going to be heavy in a great way. So we're going to take a quick break real quick, and when we come back, we'll be talking to our wonderful, amazing guest, Jay Sterling. And in the meantime, you can check out some of the things that he has going on at Galileo Studios, at Sterling Cartoons, or you can go to YouTube, Galileo Animation Studios, just to take a sneak peek at what he has going on. And then when we come back from our commercial break, we're going to talk to our guest. So excited. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight on the Late Night Hype on CEPTV. We will be right back. Hey, Jay, is that you?
Hey, yeah, that's me.
Okay, I'll be all right. This is just the green room. They can't hear us, but I'll be formally bringing you on in just a second after the radio plays, and then I'll bring you on live. I mean, after the
Okay, can I
commercials.
go in and can I share the number on my social and stuff?
Absolutely. Yep. You can share the number. The links is 646-668-8484.
Okay,
Okay.
awesome, awesome.
All right. Just a second.
Or other singles by Charles Robinson, call 850-294-6550. Thank you.
Rampant drug-related crime continues to plague the Clifton Terrace area. Today, 2 young men were brutally murdered at 16th and West.
More signs today that the drug problem is getting worse.
A surprising development tonight as drug kingpin Angel is gunned down, apparently as part of the ongoing turf war in...
Peek inside the cutthroat world of drugs, money, and fast women. A world where a young man must choose his own path. Prodigal Son, the new novel from Tommy Gibbs. Order your copy from Amazon or CensoRoInc.com.
Welcome to CEPTV and Blog Talk Radio. Anyone can subscribe and sign up. You can view all genres of content, movies, live events, TV shows, and more by African Americans and Brown Americans on CEPTV. Then listen for interviews on Blog Talk Radio. Tune in to listen now.
And we are back. Thank you all so much for taking that break with us. I hope you got a chance to take a look at some of the stuff that our very special guest has in store for us. Without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce the man himself, Jay Sterling. Hey, how are you tonight, Jay?
Hey, what's up?
Not a whole lot. Just excited to have you on. Just wanted to say thank you so much for allowing CEPTV to have the privilege of streaming Faith Mixed with Grace. It's getting so much response. People are very receptive and lots of streams coming in so far. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, no problem. I'm very honored and humbled, and it's an honor. I really appreciate you.
Absolutely. So looking at your bio, it said, you spent your life wanting to create and tell beautiful and imaginative stories for children and adults. And tell us about the encounters that you had with God that led you to want to create stories with a more spiritual approach.
Yes, that's an interesting question. Thank you for asking. So I actually was raised in the apostolic faith. I don't know if you know much about Christianity and stuff and all the different ways you can be Catholic, apostolic, Pentecostal, all that stuff. But I was pretty much raised in holiness. I've always wanted to incorporate like spiritual stuff into my I guess my drawings. Like I've always drawn since I was a kid, but I didn't really know like how to do it. Like the only I want to say role models in the genre would be like Veggie Tales, like to my, knowledge or whatever. And then also, of course, like the DreamWorks movies, like Prince of Egypt and I think they one of Daniel, I think, like something like that,
Right.
But I didn't want to directly do like Bible stories per se. Like I was huge into like anime and like Naruto and all that stuff. Which typically those type of things, they actually have a lot of demons in them.
Right. Yes.
I would watch. I still would watch it because the stories were so. I love the stories. So, I want to say I don't know how old I was, but I was just out and trying to be grown, smoking and partying and stuff. I know one night I was smoking some ganja. And I ended up being laced with something, and they almost took me out of here. So
wow.
I really thank God for saving my life because I really, really could have been dead. And I just remember God saving me. So from that standpoint, I always I mean, it just was like God was my hero. Like I, went to church and stuff. I didn't really have any personal encounters with God, but when that happened, I dedicated, just made a vow that with all my works, that I would dedicate them to God and just shine Him through in my stuff, and just show everybody that, that He's the true hero. We have Batman, Superman, and all these different characters, and even my characters. But at the end of the day, to me anyway, God has always been a leader and a hero in my life. So just some appreciation.
That's awesome. And that's a great start as any. So the drawings, you actually draw these yourself. These are your original characters.
Yes, these are my original characters. Nobody else draws them but me. I know people, especially, I don't know if you saw my picture I posted for my birthday, I think, when I had like all those characters and stuff going on. So yeah, those are all mine. I've been creating my own characters. I think before I could even walk, I would scribble on back of chairs and scrabble up some stuff.
Okay. So that answers the question about your inspiration to become an animator and the genre. Tell us a little bit about your background and upbringing aside from the religious aspect.
Oh, but what do you mean? Go a little bit in detail. What you mean?
Like, did you come from a really strict background? Like when you were scribbling on the back of the chairs, did you get in trouble? Like, were you an only child? Were you a very lonely or isolated child? Did you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, my brother Tyrese, a little older than me. Girl, I just had a birthday that just passed. We're just getting older and older. So I think he might be. I think he might, look, I feel like I'm about to turn into dust over here.
Oh, cut it out.
I think that I'm very like over the top, but no, I think that Tyrese has to be like 30. My sister, she's 24. She's 24. So yeah, my when I was scribbling and stuff, I don't even think I got in trouble. They were on the back of the play school, like they were on some play school type plastic chairs or whatever. So I'm sure my parents were like, "Oh no, don't do that." But no, they I want to say they encouraged me to draw the best that they could, the best they knew how. Nobody in my family. Maybe besides one of my aunts has really pursued a career in the entertainment, genre or whatever. So they, I think they've tried to support the best the best they know how, just based off of my family and stuff like that. But definitely growing up in the 90s, I was inspired by Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball Z, Hayao Miyazaki movies, all those stuff. So that kind of all combined and cultivated, to who I am right now.
Okay, awesome. So, I really want to go into this because, people want to know like how hard or how easy is it to get into animation? Tell us about the process and the journey. Like, how long did it take you to create like the first episode of Faith McGrace? But before you go into that, I know you have Happy Hair and you have some other characters.
Yes.
Which ones came first?
Oh my God. Okay, well, let's see. The one that truly came first is something that I'm planning on working on for 2020, but we can get into that later. But really what came first is folklore. It's called The Fantastic Tale of Folklore. The actors, they did an awesome job. They wrapped up all of them. Marcus Smith Brown, he's a Chew. Jack, he does Don Kappa, Tama. I mean, I don't want to go all in because there's so many of them, but they really did an awesome job. If you look on my Instagram, all of their names and stuff is on there. But we wrapped that up. So hopefully I'll be shooting that soon. But really, Faith came before Happy as far as the order that I created it. Like as far as like, in the background and stuff, I just animated Happy first. Because I want to say during the time that I did Happy, I did the comics. I was able to get them into public schools down here in like the south side of Georgia, South Atlanta. And just because I hadn't published anything in a while, it was something I just wanted to just do to get out there and, you know, just get my name out there. And it wound up becoming like a nice little small success. So I rode the coattails of Happy, and it kind of ushered me and pushed me into faith direction a little bit.
Okay, awesome. Now, Happy, tell us about the Happy character. I don't think I've explored. I guess I was so smitten by Faith. I didn't get. She's just so adorable. Like, I love her. Like, I seen her little afro, and just her so proper and articulate. I loved it. And and the cartoon literally almost made me cry because she's so pure and so sincere. I was like, he's trying to get me to cry on this. But I love Faith so much. She's awesome.
When I tell you that means not to like derail, please allow me back on the track that I derail and go off in a tangent, because girl, I'll be talking for hours. But
it's all good.
I say that, when I say people's response to Faith, just the positive things that people have been saying about how it touched them and stuff like that, that really means the most out of anything else. Because that's really what I want to get out of all of my work at the end of the day, is just a feeling of self-help that people can just watch it and it can be a reflection of themselves, and just boost us all, it's all about love. It's all about having love for each other. So that's what I want to, to radiate, to give off of my work and stuff like that. So I appreciate your words. But as far as Happy, I have to go farther into the story with Happy a little bit. I kind of like paused him to do Faith real quick, but his name is just as it implies. It's just a series about, like I said, just trying to push those same type of energies. Happy was kind of rowdy back when he was a kid and causing trouble, so his story is kind of like something of a redemption. Mm-hmm. It's like the opposite of Faith almost. He caused a bunch of pain to people, and now he's trying to turn over a new leaf and truly make everyone happy around him. So hopefully not too soon into the new year, I'll be able to really animate him and everything and get his stuff more fleshed out. But doing the pilot definitely was important at the time, because I was going to schools and the kids were hollering about they wanted to see animation from my books and stuff. So it just was a way to get my feet wet. And just like as you said with Faith, like when I would go to school to present to the kids, they'll see Faith and be like, who is that? Like they'll forget all about Happy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should do her next.
Yeah, she is so adorable. I love Faith. Like Faith, you just can't look, you can't look at her and not want to know more about her. So she was very beautifully drawn, and Happy is definitely an intriguing character too, but there's something, because we don't have a lot of the representation. So Faith is so important right now for us, and she's like right on time, and she has the right message. She has the right attitude, because, every time, we're set out there, we're set out in such a way that, we as African Americans aren't always that way all the time, and Faith is just a breath of fresh air, and brings a reality that we are this way too, and I just love her. I want to talk about the process now. You are animating everything yourself from start to finish, yes or no?
Yes, I am animating everything. I'm editing the audio. I'm putting in the sound effects. I'm writing the script. I am designing the characters. I am doing everything from A to Z, besides adding the voices to the characters.
That is amazing. I would have never thought that it was like, so Sterling Studios, this is like something you are doing. I mean, not Sterling, Galileo Studio. Was it Sterling Studio? Did I make that up?
But it could be Sterling. Yeah, you could call it Sterling Studios too. But you know what? When I first made it, though, I was going to call it that, but I didn't want to seem like so, I don't know how to say it, but so self-like, I didn't want to seem like it was all about me. I really wanted to give thanks and honor to God. So that's actually why I decided to name it Galileo, which is a play off of Galilee, like
Mm-hmm.
historic, like in the Bible of Jesus. And it's also a play off of Galileo, who was an astronomer that studied the stars. And in the Bible, it actually talks about, looking at the stars and stuff like that as signs and wonders, stuff like that.
Awesome. Okay. So we got a double play on words here. I love it. Awesome. Okay. So, man, so I think you should go live a lot more. If you're not already, because I mean, I know you're on Instagram and I know you're posting, but there's a lot of people who are afraid to even get their feet wet in this process. And I promise you make it look so easy. Like Faith, you would have thought that this was like, at least a 5-person team doing this production. I would have never thought it was just you doing everything from start to finish. I mean, it's very beautifully done. Smooth transitions, the voices are on point, and even an awesome job with casting. How did you run into the young lady who ended up doing Faith's voice?
Yes, Lauren, God forgive me. I need to actually talk with her to know her how to correctly pronounce her last name. I want to say it's look. I don't know how to mess it up. So let's just say Lauren. But I did a huge casting, and believe it or not, a lot of people reach out to me for casting, like for wanting to do the voices and stuff. But I did a huge casting for Faith. Some on my social media, and then I also went on this site, the casting club, I want to say.
Yeah, I'm in that
And,
one. Buford is
yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm in there. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I love it. So I just got put onto it like over the summer or whatever. So I went on there, and originally she auditioned for Faith's mom, and I did cast her for Faith's mom, but I decided not to put the parents in the initial pilot or the first episode. But I did like her voice, so I instead asked her, if she could audition for Faith. I loved her tone for Faith. I loved her emotion. I mean, everything was just perfect. So I, just chose her. And she really did an awesome job.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Like really, all of them. All of them were great and fitting. I want to talk about what's the purple monster? Is she a salamander?
Miss Sally, man.
Yeah.
That's like the breakout. I'm not gonna say that other characters, of course, everybody's stars, but I feel like that's the role that I didn't expect. Everybody's like going crazy over the character.
Yeah, because like she's kind of like a negative Nancy, but she also says what people don't want to admit that they're feeling.
Exactly.
So she's kind of like, the one that's on Faith's shoulder, saying, what she perceives as reality, but Faith is so grounded, that she doesn't respond to Miss Salamander how the average person would respond to someone who's always so negative.
Right, exactly. I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, that was the point that was just kind of the point that I was making on that. Like I love their dynamics, how they kind of are like fire and ice with each other.
Yes, because I wanted, like, for me, like going into it, like I wanted it to have this dynamic because Faith's so like you said, grounded. Spiritually, she knows who she is, and all those things of being a super saint. Which I can go into the meaning of that later. But I wanted to pair her with someone like, okay, like I wanted the story still to have like a comical relief. And I was like, wow, well, what if she had like a serious character that was around her, someone who wasn't like, super spiritual or didn't believe, really in God and stuff like that. So the things that Faith is doing is like you have the devil's advocate, or you have a character who's basically opposite, and they're like, whoa, like, girl, what are you doing? And it's like a a believer with a non-believer.
Right. That's what I said. She's kind of like sitting on that left shoulder, like the little devil that's putting all those negative thoughts. So yeah, that's exactly what I love. That was very strategic. I love how you did that, because it's like you want to always give Miss Sally Mander a chance, and Faith genuinely loves her. But she's just so negative, but it's like I like her being there because she keeps it real in the way that she knows that. Huh?
Did you find her funny as well? Her parts, did you find them funny?
I did, because she's just so raw. I'm like, man, Miss Sally Mander, boy, I tell you what, yeah, she definitely was a relief for the movie. And I did like Pyro. I didn't catch.
Yes, I have to give a shout out to I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no. I was gonna say I can't remember the name of the little guy, but I really liked him too. Like all of the characters were just
Toby.
yes,
Toby and Pyro.
yes.
Yeah, those were played. Miss Sally Mander was played by Pietro Craig. I actually went to church with her years ago. I was a little kid, but we would do stage plays in church, and I always heard her voice. And I told her, like, if I ever get into animation, I have to use you for one of my characters, because your voice it's just very like a strict, like mother type, like a strict mom type voice. And when I made Miss Sally Mander, I was trying to think of, like, I had people audition for her, but their voices were just not what I was having in my mind. And then when I thought about her, I was like, oh my God, she'd be perfect. So I definitely have to shout her out. And then Marion Toro, she did the voice of Toby. She's an amazing actress as well. And then one of my other friends that I get to work with, Zach, he is on the Fantastic Telefolklore. He does a bunch of different voices on there, so I wanted to pull him to do Pyro, because he makes a lot of different crazy noises, and he did an awesome job as well.
That is great. Wow. I can't believe that, you had a vision when you were a young man in church, and you knew that you were going to reach back and use that lady, that you were going to use her for, what was her name again? Let me hear that again. Pietra. Okay, Miss Pietra, you were going to use her years later for something that you had in mind to do so many years ago. That's what I call focus.
Believe it or not, I tell people that all the time that will audition for me, like when they do the voices, especially if they have an awesome voice, I'll tell them that, okay, maybe it's not what I have in mind for this character, but I do like your voice. So I will, like, I can never forget when someone gives me like a really good voice. I tell people that all the time. So even though it might take a little while, I definitely reach back and include people. That's what it's all about anyway.
Absolutely. So one man show, doing everything from the beginning to the end. How long did it take to do the pilot episode? Just give us an idea of the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into an episode of this high quality for one person to do.
I appreciate that. Look, you over here boosting me up. Don't give me a big
It's
head,
awesome.
but,
I'm telling you, like, don't sell yourself short. Faith is amazing.
Oh, thank you. For Faith, it took me 30 days, about a month. Do keep in mind, I was actually rushing its completion because I actually premiered it at a film festival at the New Birth Film Festival here in Atlanta. For people who don't know, that's one of the biggest churches down here. So I premiered it there. So I was like kind of rushing. So it is some things I want to retouch when I go back to it. But yeah, I want to say I did it about 30 days. A lot of those days, I actually had to set the characters up and rig them, which basically, just to describe that, there's like bones in the characters, and you manipulate their arms and their mouths and eyes and all type of different, there's like a whole science to it. So I had to do that. I did all the backgrounds. The backgrounds maybe took me about 2 weeks to complete. So yeah, if everything combined, it took 30 days to get all of it done, which really to me isn't that long. When I did Happy Here, that pilot, it took me about 6 months to complete that. That was done traditionally. There wasn't any bone rigging or anything like that. Those were just drawings that I linked together. So from 6 months from my first pilot and then to Faith, it took me about 30 days. So I've gotten a little bit faster as I continue to work.
I would say so. We do have a caller on. Let's go ahead and bring our caller on. Someone may have a question for you. 713 area code. I'm not really sure where that is. Let me see. 713 area code is that Connecticut? No, that's Houston. That's what I thought. Okay. Let's bring Houston caller on the air. Hopefully we have some questions for you. 1 second. Let's see. Caller, you are on the air. CEPTV. How can we help you?
Hi, I was just calling to listen in, and I just wanted to tell Sterling that the Faith cartoon is really dope. It's really awesome. I showed it to my little cousin, and she's 8 years old. She's actually an aspiring comic artist and author as well, and she really enjoyed it, and she's just looking for more stuff from you, and just waiting on the next project to drop and come out. So I just wanted to call in and say that.
Oh, this is true, isn't
it? Yeah, that's me.
Like this is Marcus. He is playing one of the main characters in the Fantastic Telefolklore, which is one of the other series we're working on.
Awesome. You know what? Haven't gotten this down to a science in 30 days. You have, this gentleman who's working with you, his 8-year-old sister is inspired by you. Is there any chance that you may have any Faith McGrace gear? Because I would love to sport some Faith McGrace paraphernalia. Like, seriously, I think that's something that you might want to consider, and also doing some classes or something like that to put out something like that within 30 days, Jay. Like, that's really amazing. Like, seriously, that's heavy.
Thank you. To answer your question, so believe it or not, before I even did Faith, she was an old Kickstarter of mine. But when I would do local art shows, I would show pictures of her, and like the people would go crazy. Even someone, one of my mother's friends saw her, and they wanted to decorate their whole daughter's room with her, like completely like wallpaper, like covers. Thing. So it is something that I definitely want to do, especially because I know how many people do love the character. I just don't. I like to like really make sure that things are like the quality is good, So I do want to do something. I just don't want to rush it. Like as far as like clothes and stuff. Like I want to make sure it's something that I would wear or put on. If I had a little girl or decorate somebody's room. I just want it to be the right stuff. So it's just I have to allot some time and just sit down and do it. I just don't want to like push it out there and be like, oh, here it is, So
right.
Just make sure it's right. But I'm definitely gonna, of course, that's something I definitely want to do for sure.
Absolutely. And then, of course, make sure your licensing and everything is in order because, boy, I tell you what, copyright out here. I'm in a lot of crafting groups and gee whiz, it's crazy. So, yes, I definitely understand that. Understand that. So caller, how is your experience with working with Jay and just, watching your sister just be so inspired by, someone that you get a chance to work alongside with?
It's been really fun. It's definitely been an experience. It's definitely been something where I've been able to grow. Not only in my craft, but just, as a person, as a man. And, I've definitely gained a brother. His work is really dope, has a positive message, and it's been a lot of fun. Like it's been a whole lot of fun, and I don't know. It's I guess you can call it work, but I mean, when you enjoy it that much, it doesn't seem like work really. Like I don't know. It takes my mind off a lot of other stuff. So it's been great.
That's awesome. And that's what CEPTV is all about. Creatives, entrepreneurs, and entertainers at Play TV, because our motto is, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. So that is just amazing that you all are able to build into something that I can see becoming a very powerful, a very positive platform. And you all are just sowing some amazing seeds. I'm so glad that, you're able to witness your younger sibling just, be so inspired, and then you're inspired and you actually get to partake in what's going on. It's just such magical, awesome things happening here. And I can't wait to just see how the platform continues to flourish.
Definitely, it's definitely growing.
Jay, did you want to say something?
Oh no, I was just saying thank you. I appreciate that. And then of course Marcus. I mean, yeah, I mean everything he said. Like basically, like yeah, he's become a brother of mine. And I always tell, even the before we got started with line one of anything, I told everybody that don't look at it as you work for me. You're working with me. I feel like when people sometimes get in groups, no matter who's in charge or what's going on, sometimes people forget that. But I definitely let people, do their own thing, even if they want to like improvise, or there might be a way that they might read the line different from what I thought about it. It doesn't make it a right or a wrong way. It's just being open to let people do their own thing. And it's my job is just hearing the voice. And obviously, if I hear the voice and the talent, I already know that they can embody the characters. So I just really let people, try to do their own thing to just bring the characters to life. And that's what, Marcus and Jack and Zach and Hannah and Chuck and Troy, don't kill me if I forget your names. so many now. Before I was in the church doing auditions, I could barely get anybody to voice any characters. Now I think when I did Folklore's audition, I think I had like over 100 auditions. It was crazy.
Now, which one is Folklore?
Folklore is it's like a little blue mouse. There's a character, he looks like Gumby. He's a leek, and then there's a duck on there. It's a white duck looking character. You have to go look at it. But it actually was the first web comic that I put online. I was publishing it on a site called Line Webtoon. I haven't published it in God knows how long. I haven't added any chapters, but during the time that I was publishing it, it received thousands of readers.
Oh wow. Okay. So you tabled it for a little while, and now you're picking it back up and going and doing it into an animation.
Yeah, I have a lot of content from it. When I was publishing it online, I had like a lot of chapters. I think the first volume is like almost 300 pages. So I definitely have enough content to where I can actually sit back and, animate the whole entire thing. And I think a lot of people will love it, just based off of the audience that already has on it.
Okay. Now, are you, and this is just for the audience who may be listening, are you for hire?
Yeah, I accept commissions. The thing about the commissions, like that like even now I'm doing commissions, and I always talk to my clients all the time. We just have to set realistic things you want to achieve. Like a lot of times, and it's not that I'm like Disney, obviously I'm not, but a lot of times people will look at the animation and they want to do their own animation, or they want to do their own children's book, which is fine. And I don't turn people's budgets away. The thing is, it's just what do you really, what are you going? We have to make sure that we set up what we're gonna expect out of the budget. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't come and the thing with animation is it just takes time. Like if you give me a project that might take an entire month, that means that's an entire month that I have to work towards your project. I have to feed myself, pay bills. You know, I have to live. So you can expect for me to be working on something for a month and then you pay me like $100. I mean, how would I be able to pay my bills with that? So it's just what you realistically expect from the project, and we just get on common ground. But I have great clients. I have great clients, people that commission me and stuff like that, and I do accept them. It just depends on what it is, like I said. But I'll be the one to tell you no or yes, depending on what the project entails.
Okay, awesome. So for those listeners out there in CEPTV land, I promise you all, if you check out the Faith McGrace cartoon, you just heard Jay is for hire, and that's where he has the Galileo Studios. You can check out a lot of his stuff. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to ask you about this app that I saw. I want to go into that when we get back. So hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. Our caller, you're more than welcome to hang on with us if you want to, and we will be right back.
Hello?
Everyone needs a spa day, a day to relax and unwind and let someone else take care of your needs or a
Hey, we're all here. Thanks so much for calling in. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mark, I didn't expect to hear you on there.
Yeah, I didn't know I was gonna get asked to talk. But yeah, it was awesome. Jay, like I want to say again, you're really good at making people feeling comfortable, and really good at allowing people to kind of flex their muscle and work on different things. So I want to say again, I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity, and keep doing big things. I got to get ready for my day job, so I got to get ready to hit the sheets. But I just wanted to call in, support, and listen. So
awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to leave you in the listen room. You can hang on and listen some more, or you can just disconnect whenever you get ready. But thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Brothers and sisters, feed your minds. Learn, read, and rise.
Rampant drug-related crime continues to plague the Clifton Terrace area. Today, 2 young men were brutally murdered at 16th and West.
More signs today that the drug problem is getting worse.
A surprising development tonight as drug kingpin Angel is gunned down, apparently as part of the ongoing turf war in...
Peek inside the cutthroat world of drugs, money, and fast women. A world where a young man must choose his own path. Prodigal Son, the new novel from Tommy Gibbs. Order your copy from Amazon or CensorOinc.com.
Welcome to CEPTV and Love Talk Radio. Anyone can subscribe and sign up. You can view all genres of content, movies, live events, TV shows, and more by African Americans and Brown Americans on CEPTV. Then listen for interviews on Blog Talk Radio. Tune in to listen now.
And we are back. Thank you all so much for those of you who have tuned in with us from the beginning of the show. And for those of you who are just joining in, we are talking to Jay Sterling, the creator of Faith McGrace, owner of Galileo Studios. You can reach out to him at Sterling Cartoons on Facebook and Instagram, and at Galileo Studio on Facebook and Instagram, or YouTube, Galileo Animation Studios. We just learned that he is so good that he can create a very beautiful, well put together cartoon about 17 to, I want to say maybe 17 to 20 minutes. I think Faith McGrace was about 17 or 18 minutes in 30 days. So it's just amazing. So if you all want to call in and talk to Jay tonight, you can call in this number 646-668-8484. If you happen to be listening post production, you can reach out to him on the interweb in those fashions or on those social medias that we just mentioned. So welcome back, Jay. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Hey, yep, I'm here. I'm hanging in
there. yeah. Is it a late night for you? Are you usually up at this hour?
I actually am.
Okay.
I'm usually always working.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because this is like, for me, when I do my voiceovers and recordings, it always has to be at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Because if I try to do it in the daytime, neighbors are opening and closing doors, dogs are barking, birds are chirping, and I can never get anything done. So this is kind of like my, working hour for me. So yeah, it's kind of good to get some work done. But back to what we were talking about before we took our break. I was looking through your Instagram, just learning all kinds of great things about you and your talent, and I seen an app that you were doing. Are you going to continue doing that, and can you tell us what that's all about?
Oh my God. So I had built a subscription service from the ground up. It was really just me. I was publishing my comics on Webtoons, but I was trying to make a way to monetize my work and make money off of it, which I couldn't do on their platform. So I really made my own and then pushed all my stuff on there. But I want to say, I don't know what made me stop it. I don't know why I stopped it. You know what? Because I want to say around that time was when I started drawing the Happy Hair pilot, and I wasn't making any comics at the time. I haven't made any comics since Happy Hair. That was the last comic I made. That was maybe about 2 years ago now. So that's pretty much why I just continued it. I don't know if I think maybe in the future, like I'm talking about years later, maybe it might be something I might pursue again. But right now I don't have the
time
interest in doing it at the moment.
Gotcha.
I really just want to get the content out there, to be honest.
Right. Well, I tell you what is a brilliant idea. And if and when, not gonna say if, but when your platform starts taking off more, as far as just like all of the things that you have, I would definitely encourage you to pick that back up, because what'll happen, here's the thing, what a lot of us don't understand. There's a lot of streaming networks like CEPTV. It's not something that I don't not want to talk about, because I'm afraid that I'll lose people to competition. What we have to learn as smaller independent platforms is that the more the better. And the reason why that is because we are now controlling our own narrative. Where it starts getting sticky is that what we have to learn is how to be conglomerations, to where, we come together and have one company broker advertising across all platforms. Like, you can, if you are a big company, you can advertise on Showtime, HBO, Cinemax, and all these different ones, and you can go through one person that will broker all those companies. And so I'm so pleased to see so many platforms arising at the same time. And I'm so happy to be, because I had no idea when I brought CEPTV into fruition that there were so many people doing almost the same thing. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
we have to create our own niche. My niche being that we're a solutions based platform. So, we try not to simply just entertain, but provide solutions, in our own unique way. So, but that's beside the point. My point is that the more independent, um, independently owned platforms we have, the better. We just have to find a way to come together, and that's pretty much going to always be it. And there's some people who have reached out to me. There's some people who've reached out to me for consulting. There's some people who've reached out to me to get together. Some I've heard from on a steady basis, and then some people you hear from once and you never hear from them again. But again, all of that is irrelevant. All I'm saying is it's just a beautiful time to be a brown American, African American, Black American, whatever you want to call yourself, and be able to encompass content that people who look like you control the narrative. That is so important.
Right.
That is just so important. And I'm loving it. So I would encourage you to maybe one day pick that back up, because it really is important, because faith is so necessary. Like I can, like, that's a double play on words too. Faith is necessary, but grace is also necessary. Yeah. So I love it. Like everything just comes full circle with everything that you're doing here. And I'm very delighted to again have you on the CEPTV platform. Again, it's just been such a very positive response. And then, once I got a chance to sit down and watch the show myself, I'm like, this is really quality entertainment. This is something that we really, really need to have. What are your, like, what's the big picture for Galileo Studios? Do you make, like, let me ask you, I guess, let me rephrase it like this. Are you solely living off of your clientele and what you're doing right now? Or have you gotten to that point yet?
I am. It's funny though, because it all kind of stems off of each other. Initially, I was starting to lean more towards doing art solely when I did the first Happy Hair book, because I was able to. Actually, I think I sold out of all the ones that I had printed. I actually sold like a couple hundred of them, and then when I sold them to the school, that was crazy. But just from doing shows and stuff like that, that helped. And then from doing that, I received funds to actually do the first animation. So that catapulted me into the position that I am now. I feel like to even start doing animation commissions, because a lot of my commissions that I actually got approached were from the first Happy Hair pilot that I did. So it kind of like all rubber bands off of each other, to be honest. But I do most of it. I do all of it off of commission. Right now I haven't sold anything. I haven't made any product to sell, to be honest, like my own product in a long time. So I'm right now working on something to change that for the new year that's coming up, so I can kind of transition more so into that and less off of commission so much. But that's where I'm at right now. I do make money off of commissions, and I'm about to jumpstart something in 2020 that hopefully will replace that.
Awesome. We love it. Like anytime you can break free from, corporate America or whatever, and live off of what you love to do, that's what it's all about. So thank you so much for inspiring us, inspiring everyone who, is listening to us tonight. I just want you all to know, everyone who is listening, it is possible for you to live off of your talents and, what you love to do. So please take Jay Sterling as an example. So your first Kickstarter, did that succeed or was it a bust?
It was a bust, honey. It was, and I actually, Marcus was on here earlier. I was talking to him about Kickstarter the other day. Like, it actually, my first Kickstarter was Faith in the Grave. But it really was a bust, honestly, because I didn't really have a fan base. I didn't even know how to work social media in my favor. I didn't really know nothing about it. Even still, I raised like $60 something. I know one person actually donated off of Kickstarter. Like I didn't even know this nice woman who donated that, but she just saw face and she was like, "Oh my God, I can see this being so huge," and she just wanted to support. So I definitely think that now. I mean, back then, like I said, I don't even think I had like a fan base at all. Like really, it was zero. Fast forward to now, I'm involved with schools and stuff like that. So definitely think now it would be a different story. It's just that when that situation happened, it really made me reevaluate everything. And I'm just big on not putting my destiny in the hands of other people. I'd just rather take control of it myself. So that's just when I decided that I was just going to work hard and start funding things myself if I had to.
That's what's up. That's what it's all about. Jay, we actually do have another caller tonight. So we're going to bring caller from the 757 area code. I like to Google real quick so I can see where people are from. 757 area code is Virginia. I think that's Skinny. Is that Skinny? Is that you? Hold on. Let me bring Skinny on. I think that's Skinny. Caller, are you on the air tonight?
Yes. This is Christian Satan, and I just came to call to see just to see how it will play out. I mean, I haven't really prepared myself for something like this, so I might as well just go all professional and stuff like that,
Okay, so you were just kind of tuning in and listening to Jay talk about his adventures in animation and stuff like that. Are you an animator?
I'm more of an aspiring animator, but I'm more in the lines of doing comic book art and illustration. Somewhat more in indie comics field myself.
Okay, what's your IG? We would
really
love to reach out to you.
Yes. My name is Christian Staten, and I'm not really much that big right now. I'm just in college right now, but I do have an Instagram that's Chris.Angel, and the S having three S's.
3S, okay.
So, and yeah, I'm just really cool. Well, I'm just excited to hear from official stuff coming from Jay Sterling's, because a funny story, I heard about Happy Hair at first.
Oh wow!
And before I saw Fate and Grace, because I heard from a YouTuber who calls himself Mastermind Comics, who does reviews on independent comics and mangas, and I saw one video called Happy Hair, which is something that for the life of me, I thought I was really really cynical with when it comes to looking at art, because I first looked at it, it was somewhat very crude and somewhat you see something off of middle school or something like that, because and that was before I actually took a deep look into the characters and everything before me, Jay Sterling, and yeah, I was way worse as I was way worse back in high school, and yeah, I guess I I guess somewhat supporting the artists, supporting Jay Sterling and Faith McGrace, Happy Hair. I guess is somewhat a apology of like my past self saying stuff like that. So yeah, and speaking of Faith McGrace, I immediately fell in love with Faith McGrace ever since before like the movie pilot came out, and I just like, yo, I need to see more stuff like this because it's just really inspiring to see stuff from a guy who shares my interests, who able to make something original and really cool. I mean, I'm starting to like realize that now to appreciate art, even if it looks off at first. You tend to grow on it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, that's awesome, Jay, that, you have a fan out here that, has evolved in his perspective and he's actually heard of you before and has been following your art. So what do you say to that?
Yeah, hey Chris. I actually know Chris. Just a huge supporter of me on that I've met recently off of social media and stuff like that. Actually, go on my page. I posted some of his drawings. He drew Faith, he drew Happy, and I really was amazed at how talented he was. And I always feel very honored when people draw my characters. I love that like completely. So he's very talented. I appreciate all his words and yeah, Mastermind Comics. they're like family to me. They JoJo over there, he really supported me, and actually when I was doing the app that we just were talking about, he was actually one of the main. That was such a huge thing, like on Facebook, people were asking me like, can they put my comic on my website and all type of stuff. But yeah, he has always been a supporter of me, so I'm glad that I was able to connect with Chris through that.
Awesome. That's great. You got a lot of people calling to support you tonight. That's amazing. That goes to show when people stay up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to support your artwork on a late night radio show. That goes to show that you really have some diehard fans out there.
And speaking of which, if I may, I should be like up. To be honest, I'm like, I should be like studying for my finals because I'm like in college right now. It's like, it's still worth it regardless.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for calling in. What we're going to progress on with the interview, but I'm going to leave you in the listening room. And if you want to continue to hang on, you're more than welcome to do so. But if you want to click off and just continue to listen on social media, you're more than welcome to do that. But we definitely want to thank you so much for calling in. It really means a lot to both of us. And we'll be checking you out, Chris. Again, thank you so much.
Hey, anytime. I can definitely play this back. And also, hey, Mr. Sterling, if you ever like have a chance to get another one of those Happy Hair comics, please sure to like send me one. I'll buy it. I don't care if I'm broke. I'm still supportive.
Thank you, Chris.
Let's make sure we definitely get Chris one of those. I'll sponsor it.
Okay. I'll stop playing around. But thank you, though.
Thank you, Chris. You have a great night.
You too. God bless you both.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Oh, thank you.
That was awesome. I love when the fans call in to support. I think this is the most call-ins we've had on this late show so far. So that's definitely a good sign. You got people that are willing to forego college exams to show you some love, Jay. That's what I'm talking about.
How funny.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
I just think that it's just so amazing. Like I can't express enough. I think I'm out of questions because pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. So if there's anything you want to talk about, anything that you want to share with, the fans, anything else that you are thinking about coming out with in the future that you want to kind of give a preview about. I know you said you were working on something. Like, when can we expect to see something else from Faith?
That's funny. Yeah, I definitely. Some people just send me questions. I definitely want to answer them. That obviously is the major question is when everybody can see it. Right now, I am actively trying to pitch Faith. So I want to hold off just a little bit to kind of see how things go with it. I really just want to pitch it or just try to just get just more funding and stuff like that regarding it. But if not, then of course I'm just gonna go ahead and do it myself, which is no issue. And I'm trying to think. I mean, I really would have to sit. I really need to sit down and write the whole entire. I have the whole story lined out already. It's just sitting down, writing the script, and casting more people and stuff like that. So I can't really put a date on it. I'm sorry, but
It's understandable. That's
because yeah, I'll know soon. Whether we pitch it and then see what people say. And then if they, if they obviously don't want it, then I'm just gonna go ahead and do it myself. But
I don't see why somebody wouldn't want it. Faith already has a fan base, like clearly. Like when I've been sharing it on social media, people are immediately captivated by Faith. I share it in a lot of the Black business rooms and groups where a lot of stuff is really hard to pass by because it's not really a business post, but because Faith is so awesome, like they let it fly anyway. I'm telling you, some of my posts have like upwards of a couple of thousands of views, and I'm telling you, Faith already has her own fan base. So when you pitch that, you need to let them know Faith has a built-in fan base, so you're definitely guaranteed to get the views that she deserves.
Yeah, and I believe that. I do. I have it on my TikTok, and it has probably in the hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok, and those are little small snippets. Those aren't even the full entire thing. So I believe that. It's so many different. It's so many different things I'm wondering about it. Just because my stuff is like very, very spiritual. I haven't. This would be the first time I'll pitch something that's spiritual based, So I'm just curious to see what they would say. That's the only thing I could think that they would say why they wouldn't like it. Just because it is spiritual based. I'm not going to remove words like the Christ crystal or God. I'm not going to remove any of those things out of it. So that would be the only thing. And it's not to say that they might not want it. They might love that. So it just depends. It has to be in the right hands. But that's something that I'm definitely. I'm not going to, negotiate to remove out of it for sure.
Well, I mean, you and I have a mutual admiration for cartoons like Naruto, and I was gonna say this, and I thought about it, but I didn't think that it would be really relevant. But if you really think about cartoons that have the Eastern kind of belief, that's religious too. Naruto is just as religious and faith based as Faith McGrace is. So there really should be no problem at all, like none whatsoever.
Yeah, that's true. It does talk about different. I don't know what Buddhism, or but it does talk about those things. So but people, honey, you'd be surprised they get tested. But I will say that when I went to schools and I was able to get happy in there, and I had to introduce myself and tell them, basically that my company was spiritual based, and it's that whole thing where they want to have the church separate from the school and stuff like that. But then when massacres happen, then everybody wants to start praying for the kids. So that's another topic. But they really were welcoming to it. So you just never know. It's the way that things are presented. I don't think when I do present spirituality in my work, I don't think it's like in an in-your-face preachy type of way.
Right.
I think it's more so in a subtle understanding, entertaining type of way. So you just never know. But that's what I want to do for Faith. Um, Folklore, like I said, I want to definitely work on that and get that out there. Even besides pitching that, I just want to get that series out there, just as something that I publish online. The other series that I'm working on, I don't want to reveal the name just yet,
Gotcha.
but it'll be a collectible. I will say this: it'll be a collectible character series.
Wow.
And it's something that I've been working on since I was a child, like super young. That actually was to your question earlier about the first series. Like that actually was like one of the first big series. I've been working on it since I was like probably like a freshman in high school. But now I have the means and funds to actually get it made. So that's what I'm working on now. So hopefully I'll be able to drop it in the beginning of 2020.
Awesome. That is exciting right there. And so with the collectible characters, you're gonna do some pops too?
What's that? You talking about the Funko Pop?
Yeah, you can get those custom made now.
No, I did not know
Yeah.
that. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I'm not opposed to that. I need to look at the cost. Of course, because I buy everything. I have to look at what's affordable. And to be honest, I'm huge on plushes and stuff like that. So one of my major things has always been to just get those made, to be honest. But I do know from just being around the anime and like the geek, like nerd culture, a lot of people love the Funko Pop. So
yes.
I'm not opposed to it. I think the project that I'm going to be working on is going to surpass like my expectations and anybody's expectations, just because I know I'm going to really put my all into it, just because it's something that's very dear to me. So I definitely can see that in the horizon. The major thing is just to be able to create enough product that will sell so that I can get it into actual like Walmart, Target, stuff like that.
Gotcha. Awesome. That's gonna be great. In where was that? I think it was in Houston. There's a African American gentleman who just opened up his own toy store recently, and it's his toy store, so it's not like a franchise or anything like that. So, I mean, just never know. Just never know.
We might need out this.
Say that again.
I said we might need to reach out to him.
Absolutely. Exactly. Yes. That's definitely going to be quite the adventure. So you definitely make sure you keep us posted on that. We want to follow along and chart your success, because, it's just amazing to see people evolve and grow. And, man, I tell you what, you just got so much greatness going on right now. It's amazing. And so what were some of the other questions that you wanted to answer for your fans?
Yes. And I hate saying fans. I always say supporters. I feel
supporters.
Like
you're right. I guess supporters. I like that.
Because it makes me feel like I don't know. I don't know why I don't like it, but let's see. One of the questions: if I'm starting out to create content on social media, how do I stay consistent and creative? It is hard to stay consistent. I would say just do something. Just do something one at a time every day. My whole thing is set like a little project or a little goal you want to accomplish. Like even if you want to draw a series, like maybe say you want to draw a series of Sailor Moon characters. Like you can post maybe one Sailor Moon character per day, or I don't know. I'm not really a big person when it comes to drawing other people's characters. Like I don't know why. I don't know if that's my makeup, but I've never been that way. I never wanted to really do like a bunch of fan art. Like I think on Instagram that might be why I know on Instagram my following isn't as big as some of my other peers as far as the followers, but I know as far as like my actual characters, I have a bigger fan base to my actual characters, you know. So like if I
Right.
do like a book or something, they're more likely to support me and buy it. Versus some people who do a lot of fan art, but they don't really have their own characters, so they don't really make money off of it that way. If that makes any sense.
Right.
But I would just say to stay consistent and creative, just draw something every day. That's what I would say. And just try to post it every day. But
Or
don't, you
do
know,
see
don't.
TikTok is about to be a monster. Like it's already grown
Oh,
so
TikTok
uh
is a
yeah, because and that's one of Gary V's things. Like he's always promoting that. So
it
anything
is.
that he puts his stamp on is gonna be like an explosion of content. But Gary, here's what I would suggest to the person who asked that question is to get on a platform like TikTok. Go ahead and tape yourself doing maybe one drawing, break it up into 1 minute clips for each portion you get finished, and then you can just kind of divvy it out over a couple of days instead of having to do one drawing and one drawing. Maybe you could do part one, like a 4 to 6 part series, and that way you're not overwhelming yourself, especially for those like Chris who may be in college and have other stuff going on. You have to manage your time, but you can also strategically put your artwork out there using platforms like that, and you just break it up into a minute on concentrating on the eyes and showing people how to do that, or just not overwhelming yourself, but also getting the content out there and getting the consistency out there. So you don't have to do one whole complete drawing every day. Maybe you can do one drawing a week, break it up into different parts. That's just a suggestion.
Right, and I completely agree with you. Just to even piggyback off what you said, I'm a huge follower of Gary Vee and everything. And that goes back to when I was saying when I did my Kickstarter, I really didn't know about social media. Like instead of using Instagram to really market myself as an artist when it first like premiered, I was posting like selfies and what I'm eating today, like like stupid stuff. I didn't take advantage of it. Fast forward to now, pretty much it's lost all its organic reach. And unless like it's a wishing star, I mean, your posts just aren't going to get seen like that anymore because now they're playing a game where basically you have to buy attention now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even the same. But TikTok is like, I want to say I joined it at the end of last month. And just in a month, I've already gained, I think, like 30,000 followers. Like it's crazy. My videos, like I said, like one of my faith videos by themselves, I think it's like over 60,000 views.
Oh,
Like it's not
wow.
even. Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's crazy. So I definitely I've been telling my other friends and artists, and I think an artist, one of my artists that I follow on Instagram, Mikhail Sebastian, one of his posts that he posted on there went viral, over 1 million views.
Wow.
And he engaged in less time than I did. So it's definitely everything Gary Vee is saying about it is true. That is, it's prime, it's new, it's right now, it's even though I think it has like over 500,000 users, but it's still newer than Facebook and
Exactly.
Instagram, so it's not much, it's not crowded as much. So the organic reach on there is tremendous. I definitely would suggest people to get on there now versus to wait till later, because even if it, like I know some artists that I follow, they'll say, okay, well, it's a video platform. I don't do animation, but yeah, like post videos of you drawing or post videos of just something. You don't know if they're going to update it in the future, because I think in the beginning, Instagram was just a video site. I don't know if it was, or was it pictures first and then they turned it into video? I forget which way it went, but those apps, they update them and they start doing different things, but you don't want to wait another 5 years and you start updating it. You want to get into it now, you can start building your fan base, or your follower base. And that was something that I missed on Facebook. That was something that I missed on Instagram. And I definitely vowed to myself, as a creator and as a businessman, that I was going to go ahead and take control of it now. And that's what I've been working on.
Absolutely. Yeah. I,
So,
I I just got on TikTok and I have no idea what to put on there, but I definitely enjoy it because the kids and the teenagers on there, they are so hilarious. Like I'm sitting on there, I'll
right.
probably waste about 15, 20 minutes, sometimes even an hour going through TikTok. And the children, they are so creative and so funny. Like, it's crazy, but I love TikTok. And I'm so glad for a fresh new platform. And I think that's what it's gonna take to keep people in engaged, to for fresh new platforms to be invented about every 5 to 10 years. I honestly think that's gonna be the trend. People aren't just gonna stick to one platform, because Facebook is actually starting to be the old MySpace, where it's older people on Facebook, and whereas the younger people are on your Snapchats and your TikToks and all that stuff. And man, I tell you what, TikTok, it really is designed to give you just enough, and then you move on to the next thing. But at the same token, in a covert way, it kind of overwhelms you, because it's so much content, so much more content that you get than Instagram or Facebook, because it's constant videos, constant, 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 constant. But they are so dang on funny. Like the I was even I was so smitten by some of the stuff on TikTok that I was even going to do the I got hoes challenge. like I know you know what that is.
What is that?
It's a song that they play on there, and it go, I got hoes, and then you just like stand in front of the camera in front of like a parent or somebody that and you yes. I thought that was like every time I get on TikTok, I always look for that, because I want to see the latest I got hoes video, because it's like, I know the song is probably offensive because it says I got hoes, but when you look at just the funny silliness that they attach to it, it is just so hilarious to me. I just can't get enough of it. I don't know.
Yeah, I love it. And plus, I mean, it's kids. Kids like stuff like they like stuff like that.
Right.
So it's either you're going to abide with it and take advantage of it and do it, or you're gonna soak and then miss your opportunity. Because what's gonna happen is, like Gary Vee says, the audience is gonna mature.
Right.
And when the platform matures and you can actually start monetizing and making money off of it, if you haven't already been on there, then you lost your chance.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like Instagram and Facebook all over again.
Yep. Yep. And that's why I think it's going to take for somebody to be creative enough to come along with a brand new shiny coin every 10 years to keep us, interested and engaged and ready to spend more money. I guess, our attention spans as a culture are kind of shortening. So, Facebook is still inventive, and still has great uses. I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. But it's, just like MySpace, just like Black Planet, just like some of those other it just loses its flair. But at the same token, and this is just conversation, I know we're way off topic, but MySpace actually didn't lose its flair. They shut down MySpace. From what I heard, people were upset about it because what was happening was these younger children were basically teaching themselves how to code. Like you had to learn how to code to operate on MySpace.
You were doing all types of different stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, coding,
yes.
Backgrounds and layouts and all that stuff. So yeah, that's definitely true.
And so Facebook, what it did was it opened up for people who, were older or, didn't really want to learn all that new stuff. But it also kind of closed it off for, children who were expanding their minds and learning how to do all this amazing stuff. Like my sister, she was on there and her page looked like a full blown website. She learned how to do it all and she taught herself how to do it. And that
Right.
it was just amazing. So Facebook kind of rolled it back and kind of dummied it down just a little bit, where people didn't have to learn so much just to put the same type of content out there. But either it's neither here nor there. But again, yeah, TikTok, I think we both agree that TikTok is probably a very beneficial to your person who sent you that question. So for the person who asked that question, you might want to look into that TikTok.
Yeah, definitely for anybody that's the artist. You know what I mean? Because that's almost a no-brainer. If you know that our kids or teenagers are on there, you draw art, and kids are in the anime. I mean, that's pretty much a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
Another question: what are some references and research tips you do when you're creating comics and cartoons? I was saying earlier that I'm really love a lot of the 90s animation, like anime and stuff like that. So it's just watching them. It's watching certain things that they do, that they like techniques that they might do to save time, which ultimately saves cost. There's a lot of different techniques that you can learn from just watching animation. Even like as old as like the first Mickey Mouse cartoon, Steamboat Willie, just watching the motions and stuff like that. I watch a lot of Hayao Miyazaki movies. He's an awesome director. He's done Spirited Away. Those are Oscar-winning movies. Just watching his stuff, watching how he writes stories. Just a lot of all the popular stuff.
So
Great
you're not
conversation,
only
dude.
watching, you're kind of like analyzing. I had the privilege of talking to Brian, oh my god, Brian McGee, who actually got a chance to interview him at the the Onyx Con back in July. It was either July or August, and I got to do an interview with him, and he actually did some feature films. Like he did storyboard artists. Storyboard artists are kind of in their own way like comic book creators, because they have to draw out the scenes before the movie is created. They have to have the vision of what the movie is going to look like, even sometimes all the way down to where the camera is going to be positioned. And so he said, like just thinking about what you said about, the greatness of some of the gentlemen that you mentioned, he said that he used to watch classics like Jaws with the sound off, so he could see the picture of when the most emotional content was created without hearing the sound and the dramatics of the movies. You want to see what those pictures look like and capture those moments to where you get the most feeling, or whatever emotion is supposed to come out of that scene, which one you want to freeze it on to capture the essence of including that in the storyboard. Like, this is the essence of this scene. You want this to be right here, this to be right there. So I love how it all ties together, how whatever you do when you're looking into animation or storyboard artists or whatever that is so closely, like they're all like brothers and sisters and distant cousins, and somewhere along the lines they're all interlinked. But you have to do that study, and you have to kind of look at the predecessors of people who kind of laid the foreground, like you said, going all the way back to the Mickey Mouse and stuff like that. You have to be a student of history.
Yes, you do.
In whatever you want to do, so that way you can create better. But that's awesome. That's a great question.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. It's just important to study, but I always tell people, animating to me is just in a more excruciating way to draw comics. So if you can draw comics, you can animate. It's just a lot more patience to it.
Right.
More pictures, but you can do that. You can do the other one. Someone asked, where's Faith's parents at?
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm like, I want to know too.
See, I was going to put that in the pilot. That was going to originally, it was supposed to be Faith, and then I have another villain. He's like the main villain. His name is Lord Velaheen. They were going to be in the first pilot. One, I had to cut them out because of time restraint. But then two, I ultimately cut it out because I felt like that was kind of taking away from the mystery, to be honest, of what was going on. I felt like if I included that, it still would be some mystery because the way that I had it set up, but it wouldn't be as exact because then you'll know like, okay, where did Faith come from? And it was too many questions I feel like that would be answered too early if I showed her parents. So my plan is of course to show them throughout the journey through flashbacks or just through different events. But I don't want to give it away in its totality right away. So I can't really tell you where her parents are at, but just going off of the story, her parents are on a different world than she is at the moment.
Gotcha. So, I mean, why is there a time restraint when it's your animation? Are you saying it's a time restraint because you put it inside of a format that if someone wanted to pick it up and play it, as a 30-minute show, on regular daytime television, you have to have it in a certain time frame? Is that what I'm understanding?
For me, not necessarily. For actually, I mean, you do have to do that. But for this in particular, it was supposed to be shot as a short film. It just I had to get it. I mean, I found out about the festival kind of like at the last moment.
Oh, time strain because
and
of the
I had
festival,
to-
not because of the length of the actual.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. It just wasn't any way. It's something was gonna even the ending where she meets the dragon. There's scenes that I actually had to cut out of that, which I want to go back and add back in. But yeah, it was just no way possible. It would have not been able to even be finished if I would have had all that going on originally. But like I said, I decided to cut it out regardless. So that's something that I'm not planning on adding back in.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just wondering, like, couldn't you have made it as long as you wanted to? But I guess you could have, but you wanted to make sure. And I'm sure it was well received at you. How did you do at the festival? It went well. Did you tell me that earlier?
Oh, no, I didn't tell you that. Yeah, it actually went really well. I'm very humble, so I never let stuff like juice me up or anything like that. But I will say a lot of people really liked it. I had a lot of other peers that showed their film reach out to me, want to connect with me. A lot of people, their consensus was it just looked very professional. They just couldn't believe that they'd never seen anything like that before. They definitely said it was unique. It looks like something that would be on Cartoon Network or TV already. And they just were giving me their insight. That's where I was able to really sit down and because I tell people all the time, it's different when you're writing it yourself and you are alone. So it might be certain parts that you might feel are funny or could be like tear-jerking or, different emotions. But you don't really know if that's going to relate to the people that are watching it until you're actually around them and you can hear them, or see them. So to definitely sit down and hear people laugh at Miss Salamander, I was like, okay, well, I'm glad I think that, that I'm not the only one that thinks that the stuff that she's saying is funny.
Right.
Or the different stuff that Faith is doing, like killing people. I'm glad hopefully that's not corny. People really enjoyed it. So that was a plus to be able to, show it to an audience and get that type of feedback,
I think, you know what, Jay, you need to get over this thing that people are going to receive Faith any different than any other superhero. God is her superpower. And like I said, that's no different than, Naruto and his 9 tails. That's his spiritual aspect of, their faith system. I would say the only one in, as far as the Naruto genre who had a real problem that was a little bit gaudy would be what's the one that had a fetish? You know who I'm Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. He would have been the only one that would have been a little bit gaudy, but all the rest of the Naruto characters, and I'm a Naruto and Boruto fan to the hilt. And you look at the Itachi, you look at Itachi's brother, Sasuke. All of these are religious groups who, they joined together, they fought with each other because they had different sets of beliefs. You look at the fanning flame, you look at, they had their own belief because, they wanted to fan the flames of the world. It's no different. And I wouldn't, whenever you go to pitch, I wouldn't have any reservations whatsoever, because God is her superpower, period. It doesn't matter that, you use the words Christ. Is not a trigger word. Christ means anointing. So, I mean, and it shouldn't be, well, I would say it shouldn't be a trigger word. If, you know what I'm saying? If any other cartoon can conjure up and, be witches and stuff like that, there's no different than, Faith having her superpower and God being her superpower. So, I don't want you to have that reservation anymore. When you pitch, you just pitch. Faith is who she is, and she's no different than any other cartoon that's on the market, none whatsoever. So you do it, and it's gonna be fine.
Yes, I receive that. I definitely do. You're right. It's just, unfortunately, nothing like that is on right now.
Exactly, and that's why she's needed.
The first of its own.
Absolutely. Which is why she's needed, and why once you pitch it, people will definitely see that she's what's needed in the world right now. So it's just amazing. But I thank you so much. We are down to our last 8 minutes. Did you have, I think maybe we can do one more question if you had another one.
Someone asked how many episodes. It'd probably be like 12 to 15 episodes. In totality, but I think the first arc before I would take a break would be like 5 to 7 short films.
For Faith.
The only other question. Did you? I would love to hear any of your thoughts that you might have, or any questions you might have before we end.
Well, I think I wrote all mine down. I told you I was, I basically everything that I wanted to know. I'm so full right now. I'm so just delighted by this experience to be able to get inside your head and to, see the ethic that it takes to be able to get to a place where you can actually live off of your craft. In my eyes, you are winning. You are the epitome of what success is. You've had a vision and a goal since you were well before your high school, and you are achieving it. You are living exactly what you wanted to do, and that's what CEPTV is all about. So just having you on here once again is not even an exaggeration to say. It's an honor and a privilege to have talked to you and to be able to introduce you to the CEPTV audience, and to be able to link up with you and share your work. I knew that once Dre kind of connected us together, when I started looking at your stuff, I'm like, man, I definitely, gotta stay in touch with him, because this guy is really special. He is really doing something that, nobody's in this lane right now. So I'm so grateful. And shout out to Dre of Ignorant Noodle, who connected us together. And just you doing your thing is, bringing your gift of animation to the world in such a time as this, when we have so much going on, so much political unrest, so much stuff going on, like, human trafficking, and so many things that are hitting hard in the African American community and worldwide. It's not just the African American thing. It's a life thing. It's a people thing when it's all said and done. But you are bringing Faith McGrace and awesome content into the world. And like you said, changing the vibrations, changing people's minds, changing people's thought processes on things, just, with what God has equipped you with. And because of that, I know he's going to equip you with so much more. So it's just been an honor and a privilege. So all of my questions are answered, and I'm just full and delighted. And I would love to follow up with you in a couple of months to see where you are with things and have you back on if that would be okay with you.
Yes, that would be amazing. What I'm about to drop is going to be a huge project. So we definitely will have to chat about that because I just want to take the whole entire world by storm with what I mean with all my stuff, but definitely with what I'm working on now. But I'm trying to think any final notes. I just want to say do I have time for like final notes real quick?
Sure, absolutely.
I just wanted to say, of course, when I made Faith, I think that's important for representation. I think for Black people, people of color in general, I strive to have us shown in different ways. That's not, you're not a slave, you're not a gangbanger or a drug dealer. You know, it's okay to see us in the other light. I wanted to emphasize that when I made Faith, which is why I wanted her to have like Afro hair. I just really want to, light the torch and continue to hold it. And even with other creators that I'm friends with, and they're doing their indie thing and showing characters of color, I just want us all to band arms together and just continue to push. Because I just feel like when one makes it, we all lift each other up. And I want to also give a shout out to a company called Animation Desk. I actually used them when I animated the first pilot of Happy Hair. I don't know if they're in Taiwan or Korea, but they're overseas and they always support me and stuff like that. So I definitely wanted to shout them out, just in support of them.
Absolutely. That is so great. So yes, we definitely are going to support you in everything you do in any way that we can here on the CEPTV network. So I want all of you all to know Faith McGrace was shown on CEPTV second. YouTube was first. CEPTV was second, and we're happy about that. So again, thank you so much. And if you all want to check out Faith McGrace, you can go to www.mycep.tv. If you have an Android phone, you can download the app CEPTV streaming, and you'll see it as soon as you download. And actually, it's going to be one of the first things that pop up when you go to the website as well. So thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Jay, thank you so much again for coming on and spending some time with us in the wee hours of the morning. It is 3 minutes until 2 o'clock. And I know a lot of you were probably in the bed and probably will catch this afterwards, but you can contact Jay at Sterling Cartoons or at Galileo Studio on Facebook and Instagram, or go to YouTube at Galileo Animation Studios. You can see a little bit, you can see a lot more of his portfolio there, but you can see the Faith McGrace on CEPTV. Again, that's www.mycep.tv. Tonight, we're going to close out with our outro from Ron Anthony, which represents our call to the lost. 90 seconds. For our missing children and young and adults that have gone missing here in the recent months. And he created a song called They Can't Talk, But We Can by Ron and the Indie Singers. Thank you all so much for tuning in to a historical episode of CEPTV. You all watch what happens in the future. This is definitely a gentleman you want to keep your eye on. And we are definitely supporting him all the way. And we want you to do the same. So thank y'all so much. Seconds. Have a great night. Night, Jay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I'll make sure I message you on IG.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Born unable to crawl, taking my first step. Born unable to pull myself up, achieving my first dream. Born unable to make the sound of a voice, speaking my first word. So many special kids across the world can't say you're hurting me. Can't you see it in my face? Don't pick me up to throw me 10 down. Seconds. I want to talk, but there's no time. When you hear me cry, don't shut me out. That's my
my way of saying you're hurting me. Wanna lock us up frequently. Police brutality, abusing with using their authority amongst the majority of us minority. Must make opportunity to survive financially in this land they call free. Stand up for the right. We can talk, but we can't. We got to fight and stand up for the right. When you see the changes they can make in their life, you will feel the power from the joy that's inside. I'm the change in unity to protect the ones we need, to make them pay for what they've done. The power of authority. Special needs are being abused all across the land. Let's make a plan, no matter what the circumstance. If you stand for the right, the power of the fight, connect and join in hands. Spread the word that we've been together. We can talk. Can't talk, but we can. We can stand up for their rights. They can talk. They can't talk. We can. Stand up for their rights. And together we will fight. So let me give you a rundown on life. It's bound to stab you deeper than a knife. You got these kids getting abused by the adults who can't defend themselves. They hit with belts and they can't talk, so you don't know what's going on, but you can look in their eyes and tell something is wrong. The pain, the tears, been abused for many years, and it's not your child, so you don't really care. There's a lot of great teachers who would take a stand against abuse by another teacher's hand. They will fight for what is right. They will stand against the accused and tell it for the sake of stopping abuse. They can talk, but we can't. They can't talk. We got to fight, no, and stand up for. They can't talk. They can't talk, but we can't. We can't talk. We got to fight and stand up for.
Take it a second, it was never picture perfect. Now the looks upon our faces will show you how so corrupted this system is. Self-destruction, but I say be scared of nothing. Just fight to be better beings, cause violence ain't the key.
Cameras in the class will stop the abuse. It will protect the teachers for being accused. Let's fight to change the system that we have will still remain. When a child could be abused, anything is no use. We can talk, but we can't. We got to fight and stand up for the right. We can talk, but we can't. We got to fight and stand up for the right. We gotta fight. Stand up for. We gotta fight. Stand up for. We can't talk. And stand up for their right. They can't talk, but we can. We got to fight and stand up for. We got to fight. They can't talk, but we can. Put your hands together. We got to fight and stand up for. We got to stand right for their right. They can't talk, but we can. We can. We got